It's on already. Okay, so everybody can hear me. Okay, great. So exciting discussions about what this technology can do, also the trends that will be happening, and the implementations. So today I want to present to you a very edge case, and we're going to talk about entertainment in an Asian language. So this will kind of give you more understanding or perspective of how these technologies can actually be applied and how we actually did that. But before we go into that, I want to kind of get the attention of the audience. Who loves music? Okay, good. So we are in Vienna, the heart of music, wonderful music, musicians have come out. So today we want to talk about music and entertainment, but a little bit different music and entertainment. So let me just show you a clip here to kind of get you into the contents of like. Okay, so today, hold on. But anyway, okay. So today we're going to talk about idols. So for my generation, going to music concert was, okay, I want to go to this music concert. I've listened to these cassette tapes or CDs back in the days. You listen to that, you might sing along with that. You go to the concert, you get excited, you go home, back to the CD, cassette, and all that. But this has changed, and the interactions with the fans and all that has changed. The experience has changed quite dramatically. So I'd like to kind of give you the contents around that and how we, in translation localization, can actually help that. If I can get, okay. So I'm not appearing, but just to do a little short self-introduction. My name is Hiroki. I'll be around. I am the VP of Global Strategy in Yaraku. And also we have Suguru, here we are. So Suguru is in the back. So he's the founder and CEO of Yaraku. And also we have Ivan, if Ivan can raise his hand. So all three of us will be here doing the 2 days wonderful discussions. So if there's anything you want to ask, maybe after the QA or like any discussions, we're open to have that. So just diving into the agenda. So we'd like to do an introduction of this idol group and what the experience is for this young generation. What is it that they connect with? And what are we translating? What is the subject of the translation? And because this is an edge case, we had a lot of problems, and we'd like to kind of tell you what the problems is, how the outcome was, and how we overachieve this, the kind of logics and how we use the technology to make this a very difficult case possible. Good. Now you can see my face. Okay, great. So the introduction to the idol group, as you kind of see the video, so that is a Asian idol group. We can't say the name because we don't have the producer has made it that we were not allowed to say the name, but you can kind of guess. They're very famous. If you have young daughters or sons, they may be interested in this area, but in US radio ranking, it was top 40. So they're pretty famous, especially in Asia. They're also doing a tour, world tour at the moment, and today's 19th, so they're actually in London. So everybody who's interested may want to go to London, but they'll also be in Berlin, Paris, and Düsseldorf, and Brussels. So Suguru, you can go to Brussels or like Amsterdam, which is quite nearby. So if you're interested, you can have a look. So they're on to this world phenomenon. They're catching up with the fans all over the world. The experience of these young idol groups, back in the days, it was just concerts and buying CDs or tape cassettes. But nowadays, it's the interactions. So the fans dress up. They kind of dress up as they want to look closer to these idol groups. They will have these special outfits that they'll prepare themselves. They line up for like this massive line for merchandise. There are these special edition t-shirts that are for these tours. They will just line up for like hours to get these. And then they'll meet all these fans, and like they'll meet like fans that they've met in other concerts. So they say hi, they actually take TikToks, they post Instagrams, they do dances and all that. So they're really excited about the performance. But it doesn't end there. This is interesting about the digital era. You see, everybody, all these idol groups have their own Instagram account. So they post their cats, their everyday life, what they ate for like, dinner and all that, who they met, they're just, photos. And within all this digital experience, the companies of the productions have been very clever to enhance this experience, to get them closer, the fans and the idol groups. So what this particular idol group did is that they created an app. This app is dedicated for the fans. So if you're a member and you download this app and you pay a subscription, you have limited contents that you have access to, which is very exciting for people who are fans for these. And by the way, the fans are called Alpha Zs. So they call Alpha Zs means the fans of this idol group. So in the app, like extensive limited contents here, so special videos are the videos that will be released next week, but they have special access to them earlier. They have access to the concert tickets, all those information. And also you can interact with the actual idols through this. This is very exciting and maybe a bit addictive as well. So, and through this, you can kind of see, you have people who are talking in Japanese, English, Korean, so there's all language mixed together. So you can speak and communicate in your local language. Now, within all this contents, there's a specific staff blog during this world tour that is happening right now. So there's a staff attending with the idol groups. Every day when they do a concert, they will, after the concert, they'll put a blog up of saying what the experience was, how exciting it was. So the fans, after each concert, they know each day when the concert is held, they're just waiting for this content to drop. They're waiting for the new picture. They're waiting for what happened, what was the experience. And these idol groups, they're originally Japanese, so the staff would write it in Japanese. But again, it's a minor language, it's not English, so not everybody understands Japanese. So what the team did was they would translate this into 7 languages. So English, Korean, Chinese, simplified and traditional, Spanish, and Portuguese. Sorry, I don't know why they don't translate it in Germany and other language, European language, but excuse me, but right now it's in 7 languages. If there's a higher demand, business demand, maybe that might come true. But at the moment, it's 7 languages that they translate. So the project overview of the translation, localization, is that multilingual translation for the world tour, staff blog in specific about the group. So the objective is to translate the staff blog, which is originally in Japanese. And the tour starts from March 2024 to next year, March 20. So it's a whole year. So they go around Asia, now they're in Europe, they'll go to North America after that. And so every day when they do a tour, there'll be a blog that will be dropped. The interesting thing about the project is that the turnaround time needs to be within 3 hours in all 7 languages. So this is very demanding. So for be able to do that, we obviously need, and by the way, this is some example. So this is on the very left side, you'll see the Japanese version of that. You'll see an English version in the middle, and then Korean language in the right. So this is an example like what it would look like after it's translated. It's a bit black, mind me of that. So the problem is that the time frame is pretty tight. So we obviously need technology to help us get this done within that 3-hour timeline. But neural machine translation and all these technologies are not that well in translating or localizing 2 elements. Specifically, it's broken sentences. Again, this is a staff, not a manual. It's very lively. It's in broken sentences. And again, it's an Asian language. So the grammatical structure is different from European languages. So I see a couple of people nodding their head. Yes, yeah, this is very difficult. So how do we do this? How can we get this done? And so if you just drop it in NMT, not Neural Machine Translation, you'll see that it does the job, but there's some errors in it. And for like this contents, like we miss some emojis. This is like live or die for like young generations. Like they communicate in emojis, so like, you know, there's no way you can miss that. So that's wrong. Again, for like photos, that's a tag, so it should not be translated in the beginning. So it's been translated, that's wrong. And then, you know, the comment here, which is in double brackets, kind of starts in an awkward place and ends in an awkward place. Doesn't really capture the original conversation that they had over here, that they have in brackets. And it's very, what should I say, formal, it's not day-to-day, like teenage way of communicating. It's very firm. You don't feel the emotion through this. So maybe grammatically correct, but again, context-wise, it doesn't work for this purpose. What can we do? Broken sentences, Asian language, difficult. Just to clarify the point. So the outcome. So we worked on this, and as a result, what we got was pretty good. So again, we have the original. The middle is the NMT, the version that I showed you. And on the right, you can see the actual final version that was done by LLM. Now, maybe it's a bit small, so you kind of have to squint your eyes, but it's more natural. You can feel like, oh, I can believe that a teenager would write this. It's more, you feel that you're more connected. It's something that is not like machine translated. It comes more from a human being, a 10-year-old or 20-year-old human being. So how do we do this? Again, with all the challenges, the broken structure, it is not grammatically correct. There's a lot of terminology that the staff and the team use that is not in general language. Also, it's very conversational, so it's not formal, and you want to have that communication with your fans who are they're teenagers and 20 years. So we went through a customized procession. We need to teach. Again, when you have a language model, you just can't pull it out of the box and expect it to do something. It's, again, I think early on in the open discussion, we're teaching a child or like a very junior specialist. You need to give the information to that language model to be able to reach to its expertise. So what we did is we uploaded past bilingual data. So this idol group has been, going around the world for a while. So they have a lot of blogs, comments that are not only in Japanese but English, Korean. So we fed all that into this model. After that, we would do some prompt engineering. This is the new era. We have to do prompt engineering to tune it so it's very natural. It kind of feels that it's again, a teenager or like younger generation that is speaking about this. And then the professionals would review that. People who have context of understanding what this conversation is about would review that and provide feedback. Again, so that will go back to the prompt adjustment, and then we'll kind of do a feedback, and we'll do it a couple of times. So kind of in simple matters, like we have the data upload, we'll do the fine-tuning, the prompt editing, then the human will evaluate that, refine it, and we'll do it in several loops. So customizing the process, this takes a bit of time, and then you need a human that understands all about this idol culture. They understand how it should be. Again, what is wrong or right is all dependent on the context, and whoever is judging that or tailing that needs to understand the context to be able to tailor it properly. So again, the results. So it's now more smooth, easy to read. You feel more attachment to that. That is the result we got. So kind of like more on quantitative side, we kind of wanted to give you an understanding of like how good this outcome is. So after the NMT, you would have to do like 40 to 60% post-editing. Especially for Japanese and Korean, it worked really bad. So there's a lot of post-editing necessary if you use NMT right away, straight away. But after using LM, still we had some parts, we'll explain later on, that we had to do some post-editing. It was fine. It's just like to perfect it, we needed 10% more post-editing to be done. And on top of that, for the Comet score, like originally it was like around 0.2 or something, pretty low, but we got it up to 0.877 in comparison of the final result. So we're getting it. We got a lot of things automated through tuning the engine. Now, some things that were still not perfected, kind of give you an example. So for this, oh, I should hide this, don't see this, the name of the group, but they use this terminology called buchikama crazy. So buchikama crazy, buchikama is Japanese, but they use this, and when you translate it in English, you can say like, you know, super crazy, or like you can translate it, but actually all the fans know about this terminology. So what you do is you just use buchikama as it is. So that's why everybody understands this. Except for the Koreans, it seems. So the Koreans, for them, you would translate it, again, it's in Korea, so just for, you know, easiness to read, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Korean, but we kind of translate like really crazy. So again, depending on like which language group you're talking to, you would have to adjust this. Another thing that we found out that we kind of failed doing is that there was a term called warutsu. And waltz, you would think waltz, oh, the dance. But it wasn't about the dance. It was about world tour and its abbreviation. So you called warutsu. And like, you would never get this, like, come on. But, but training it, I think eventually you might be able to capture that. Okay, so a couple of things that we still haven't perfected. So the engine is not perfectly correct. So like, you have some adjustments that make it even better for an experience. But it's getting there, it's 10%. So the 3-hour turnaround time was very tight, but we were able to deliver it, and we are continuing to do this as we speak. So achievements and impact. Again, this is for the fans. If the fans don't appreciate this, there's no point of doing this at all. So this is really important. And as a result, we're happy to say that we're getting positives. Like some people are like saying, thank you very much for translating this. You know, we really appreciate that. We're sort of getting a lot of comments. So I think we're doing a relatively good job on this. And also the impact of balancing multilingual consistency with culture. So again, if it's just translated, it doesn't really mean anything. It has to be culturally embedded, that the fans will appreciate that. So the balance of, you know, getting it right and getting it fast, there's a balance there. And then the changes of engagement rates and reactions. Like we see a lot of people, again, in social media that have react to that. So thanks to the translation, the localization, people from other countries or language groups can interact more smoothly with what is delivered. And time and resource saving. So again, if this was done completely with human, 3 hours would be quite a very tough schedule to match. So all this, the combination of technology and humans, this is all possible. So going forward, what will happen in the further future? So I think there's a lot of opportunities for multilingual communication and innovation. So like we have entertainment, we have other all sorts of wonderful arts and entertainment that could be translated, that all over the world people can enjoy that if it were translated and localized. So I think there's more space of that happening. Also, the productivity with all this technology can be enhanced significantly. So all the contents which didn't make from cost-benefit analysis, wouldn't make sense of translating, could be done if it were more faster and cheaper. And then current limitations. Right now, because it's a blog, it's like 14,000 words or so it's not that long. But if we were to have a whole, like let's say a document translated, that will, you know, that will be a bit more difficult. That would be a stretch for us right now because of, again, it's not perfect yet. There's a lot of post-editing that needs to be done. And so, yes, so right now it's very text-based, but we can have videos, like social medias, fan letters, all other formats of information going forward. And then we can get the translation team and the GenAI or LLM team together to collaborate to make it even smoother. So again, it's not all automatic. There's human in the loop. It's necessary that you need to have that specialized person to be able to understand if the outcome is suitable for this context. So that's what we've explored. This is the case we've shared with you. Hope this was interesting. And I'd like to kind of talk a bit about what YarakuZen is involved with this. So where does all this come from? So YarakuZen is a CAT tool. So we ourselves don't do any localizations. So this localization was done by an LSP. So we work close with LSPs. There are partners. YarakuZen actually is sold by LSPs as a relationship building tool with the customers, the clients that the LSPs work and the LSPs. So it's sort of a glue. So kind of think about it. Like LSPs, you might change depending on what occasion it is, but you seldom change your software. So putting the software between the client and the LSPs makes the relationship more stickier. So we help that. And through that, we've had like global clients through our LSPs. So these are all through LSPs. So we have YarakuZen on the right. We have the LSPs in the middle. And we have the end benefits, the actual, like the McDonald's, Rakuten, Sony, that actually use it. Yaraku, as I'm going to kind of give a demo, is a very simple CAT tool. So this is the kind of screen, and I'm going to give you a short demo, but think of it as if you were a designer. If you're a professional designer, you would go to Adobe, all the products you have in Adobe. But the learning curve is very steep. Whereas if non-professional, if you want to do design, you would go to Canva. It's very intuitive. Like you just open your account, you drag and drop, you figure the way through. YarakuZen is more toward Canva. It's simple. All you need to do is drag and drop or type in what you want to translate, select the language, and there you go. You get it. So it's for people within organizations that are like not doing IR work. They're more for internal work. If you're creating an internal manual, for example, if there's a memo in Spanish and there's a group that is only understanding English, you would translate that. So it's that for sort of purpose. So let me just show you quickly, if I could. Here we go. So this is YarakuZen. So again, very simple. You just need to type in whatever. Here we go. So if you have a chart or a graph, like it will be as is, it will kind of, you can see like comparison, like, you know, this word was translated here. We have some sentences, all this. You can say, okay, this is good. You can check that. Or for LSPs, you can ask if the client, let's say McDonald's, had a problem with this translation, this part. I want a professional to actually check this. So what you can do is ask, you can just submit this to an LSP that you work with right here. So you can like ask somebody to, you can add comments, you can send it over, you can collaborate and send it over to your LSP. So LSPs actually get like more revenue through this because it's easy. You just want to translate this sentence or this page of the document. It's a communication tool in that sense. So you can do that. So very simple, very intuitive. It's not like Trello, so like traditional. They have more functions. We don't. We have a glossary, we have a dictionary and all that, but we don't have workflow and all that. So it's very simple, more for light users. But this is what we do. Through collaboration with LSPs, we're doing interesting things, as we kind of explained for our use case today, entertainment and other industries as well. So we would like to share more insights and more information about that. But you know, if we have our booth back in the coffee table center, so if you want to talk, we are open